not exist. They're throwing bullshit charges at me to try to discourage me, to try to make me silence myself.
Etherly is now charged with attempted criminal homicide, employing a firearm during a dangerous felony, aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon.
It's not illegal to say, look at this guy harassing my community behind me. Look at this guy causing an issue in my community. He's chimping out. Call him a hard R and say, get the f away from me.
Someone set initial bond at $1.25 million. 1.25 million.
Yeah, Chud, you're beyond cooked at this point. Did y'all see his face? Did y'all see his eyes closed? That was a guy who wishes that he just would have put the streaming down and went home. That is the face of somebody who is overly defeated. That is the funniest face I've seen in a minute. After a bond hearing in which Chud found out that in order for him to walk out, he would have to put up $1.25 million, I think reality is finally set in. It was a...
Yeah, I think that's good. They need to teach him a lesson so that other people like him, when they do similar things, they actually can see the potential consequences that lie ahead.
Hot day in that courtroom, but not for anybody that was a bystander, but for the dickhead who was running around, antagonizing people, dropping slurs, and trying to get some sort of content out of it. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. This judge right here must be the biggest content creator of them all, because the way that he slapped down any sorts of hope that Chud the Builder had for getting out of jail or getting a slap on the wrist or anything like that was truly an entertaining spectacle. This case went from the free speech commentators saying that he would be home Monday to him realizing that he is going to be facing serious time, upwards of 56 years in jail if all of these charges hit. Right now, for Chud the Builder and his supporters, it's raining and it's pouring, and Omar and other commentators are laughing because this is hilarious. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long way for the channel. Now, back into the video. Chud the Builder had made an entire career and platform off of provoking people in public. But now that somebody was shot, these prosecutors are taking this much more seriously. They are viewing him as a public safety threat, not as some sort of content creator. The 1.25 million, and that's million with an M.
Yeah, he's someone who's a danger to society. You've already shown that you hate black people and you're willing to take a firearm when you are against black people. Definitely that's someone who's not safe for society. Keep him in jail. I don't even know if he's gonna be behaving the way that he's behaving or was behaving. Now it's in past tense, in jail in front of the blacks. How I wish I could see what's gonna happen once he behaves that way.
$, which I don't think Chud can afford based off of his facial expression when that got delivered down, is a sign that, yo, gang, we've kind of had enough of you. Like, we're tired of the nonsense, tired of the shenanigans, and we're going to put our foot down and show that we don't allow this stuff in this state, this town, this country, this city, wherever. The judge that administered the bond amount is absolutely correct. Not only did Chud endanger the man that he had shot, thank God that he is okay, but he also endangered people around him. This was a public environment, a place in space where you're not even really supposed to have firearms like that, let alone discharge them. Like, this was idiotic beyond belief. It's so amazing because Chud thought he was in the right. He thought he could do this all along. He thought that he was going to be able to get away with this. Remember, he's facing attempted murder, aggravated assault, reckless endangerment with a weapon, and employing a firearm during a dangerous felony. Those things are going to stick. Apparently, attempted criminal homicide carries a possible sentence of 15 to 60 years in the state of Tennessee. And you can tell that this whole situation is bad just by people who you would expect to be responding positively to Chud the Builder in this situation, turning their back on him, and rightfully so.
Praying that Chud has at least one wignut on his jury and no grow eyebrows. Free Chud.
I say send him to jail. I don't think what he did was defensible.
If also Nick Fuente doesn't care about you, the most racist person ever, who has built a platform by being a racist, doesn't care about you, that says a lot about you.
What, like, yeah, at a certain point, if you're running around with a gun antagonizing people and then you shoot somebody, like, it's one thing if somebody attacks you for no reason and you shoot them. It's another thing if it's like, here I am with my live stream where I provoke confrontations. I hope I don't have to kill anybody today. Like, I don't know, man. I wish that he could just reform and, you know, they give him a slap on the wrist and he doesn't do anything again. But, I mean, that was going to happen no matter what.
But if you thought the $1.25 million bond was high, extreme, and probably one of the worst worst things that Chud could have got. Don't worry, it actually gets worse. And you gotta stick with me because I'm gonna take you through it all. People were questioning why this bond was so high. Now, while there are some people who turn their back that are normal suspects that you would think would be supporting him, it doesn't mean that all of them turn their back. Myron Gaines thought it was gonna be a good idea to bring some sort of legal expert onto the platform to try to question some things about this situation, specifically why the bond was so high.
So he got a $1.25 million bail. I know he has a GoFundMe. I think he has enough to probably post the bail because I think he's got to post 10% or whatever.
I doubt it.
Well, sorry.
No, it's going to be it'll be more than so a normal bail. You're right. It's 10%. But when the exposure for the bail bondsman is this high, they want 10% as their fee.
Yeah,
and then they want collateral for the rest.
Gotcha.
So
put up a house or
they
something.
Won't take.
Like, how many racist people are there out there where you would actually look at this and you see a guy who has shot someone who has never done anything, and you think, wow, this is the person that we want to release back into society. Let me use my hard-earned money and actually raise money for a goal fund for this person instead of using the money for something more beneficial. I think that's how messed up society is. And I think this whole thing of racism, we are progressing in the right direction, but the problem is that we still have people like Myron who actually don't see anything wrong in terms of this guy, in terms of what he has done, and things that this is a guy who's supposed to be out there in society. And he forgets that he's black, that tomorrow is gonna be him getting shot by the same person. I mean, look at this guy, his face. He doesn't look remorseful. I'm sure this only thing that is remorseful of is the fact that he's in jail and he was caught. Otherwise, he would have been busy streaming out there, busy crashing out on people.
Take your house, but they'll ask you to put up your house. Right?
Gotcha. Okay, so we
By
went
the way,
over.
this is not an insane. I mean, it's a very high bond. I've seen it before in murder cases, attempted murder cases. I know one of the gripe that's in the community is that they see black suspects commit worse crimes, not attempted murder, but literally murder, literally assassination, and get like a $200,000 bail. That's one of the legitimate grievances I talked about at the start of our show today. This is a real concern. This should not be happening.
Myron is so funny. He tries to invite some law expert on there to try to validate some of his claims and concerns to give Chud a slim light of day, but the legal guy can't even do it, right? He doesn't even present him an opening in which he could weasel out of this whole situation. He shuts down some of these narratives quick, fast, in a hurry. God, what a loser. We don't have to question why the bond was set so high. The judge told us it's serious. Like, these felony charges are extremely serious. He didn't just endanger the life of the person that he shot, but the other people that were there as well. You can't just do that. You literally cannot just endanger all the people that were in a courtyard of a public place, especially a place in which if you felt like your life was in danger, you could have gotten a lot of help and resources almost instantly. Also, for what it's worth, he was already out on bond for previous situations in which the law had said, hey buddy, you better keep your nose clean. But like a child at a daycare, he couldn't do that. He couldn't grab some tissues and keep his nose clean. He had to continuously poke and prod and stick his nose into things. And now he's gonna be facing some jail time. And for what it's worth, they're gonna rough him up while he's in these holding cells and waiting for trial and stuff like that. He wanted to be that guy. Now they're gonna make an example of him.
Words with venom, words that bind, words used like weapons to cloud my mind. I'm a person, I'm a man, but no matter how I try, people just say, hey, there's that guy.
He's no longer some sort of internet troll or memeable figure, at least not intentionally. He is somebody who is an actual violent criminal.
I think the fall off for this guy needs to be studied. In a space of a week, he was exposed for potentially receiving it from the back. Now he shoots an unarmed black person. The worst part is that you are a known racist and you go ahead and you act on your impulses. Definitely they're gonna make an example out of you. They're gonna make an example out of this guy, and I am all for that. I am all for that. I think there should be more consequences for people, especially for people who are being racist towards other people, who actually view other people as non-human, where you'd go ahead and crash out and actually shoot someone who hasn't done anything to you, who who is just trying to live life without any problems, then you go ahead and do such things. I think the consequences are happily welcomed, and I hope that we see more of such things where people are actually held accountable for their actions. At the end of the day, you're an adult. You must know that whatever you do, there's consequences for that. You're not going to get away with everything.
Somebody that they are going to put to the test the strength and resilience of the American legal system. One that I'm not normally on the side of, but boy, oh boy, are they about to make an example out of this dude. That smile and that internet memeability is smooth wiped off of Chud's face when he realizes things aren't going his way. And again, I said intentional memeability because unintentionally, he gave us arguably the funniest, and I do mean funniest, clips and images from this whole bond hearing when he realizes, oh my God, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. When them eyes close, once he hears that 1.25 million, which we know he can't put up. Like, he doesn't have the money to put up the 10%. He doesn't have the house that's worth it all. This is hilarious. But if Chud thought he was screwed, like I said, it only gets worse. Because of the severity and the magnitude of this situation, the support, while coming from these online donators, may be quote unquote real, every other aspect of his life, he's not getting that same support. It's been reported that the public defender's office has declined to take on this case. That's right, the defense that Shearer offered as a citizen of these United States, yeah, they've declined because of the clips, because of the outrage, because of the backlash that he's caused over his lifetime. Chud took privileges for granted. He didn't realize that freedom and access to legal representation and the ability to go into restaurants and stuff like that were not just guaranteed to you because you're an American and you have free speech and you can say what you want and blah, 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 blah. No, these things are privileges. And he's gonna...
Free speech doesn't mean that you go around being racist to people and saying whatever that you want to say. There's rules to this thing, and I think people need to actually start reading their rights and actually to understand what's allowed and what's not allowed. You can't just go around doing whatever that you want just because you have freedom of speech or freedom of doing whatever. That freedom has certain limitations.
Gonna find out really, really soon. The fact that he now has to put any sorts of funds that he is accumulating towards his legal expenses are insane. And I know that's not what he expected to do. I know he probably expected to put any sorts of donations that he was getting towards his bond in order to step out of jail and wait for trial and stuff like that. But he definitely got a rude awakening in regards to that, but we'll get to that in 2 seconds. But speaking of donations, the funny thing about this whole thing is that the legal system is treating this as some sort of real life situation, but his online supporters are treating this as some sort of donation goal. Those same audience members who were sending him donations in the stream are now the ones sending it to Give, Send, Go, or whatever other donation site that he had. But the problem is Chud and his supporters are about to be in for the rudest awakening when it comes to how their dollars and cents will be spent. As it's been reported, the district attorney's office will move to block Chud's fundraisers from being used for bond. Even if Chud can use the money and finds a bondsman to put up 10% of the 1.25 million, it's my understanding he still needs collateral for the rest. Now, at the time of recording this, he has about $211,000 that'll...
Ah, damn. I guess I was wrong. We have a lot of people who are racist out there. And why is he using, I don't know whether that's his son or his child. Why is he using his child to actually try to get out of problems? And I don't think that you should associate yourself with your child, especially since you have been known as a racist. You need to protect your children against this, because what's going to happen is that your children can actually get bullied at school because of you, and because you're exposing yourself, because your father is known as someone who's actually crashing out on camera and actually shooting people who are unarmed. Then when he needs help and he needs money, now he actually puts a picture of you. It's fine. I can see that he tried to hide the child's face, who started the GoFundMe. But at the end of the day, you are using your child for your benefit, which is something that should never happen. And honestly, I think this GoFundMe should have been taken down just using that aspect alone. But then again, who am I?
It'll be nothing better than money for soup cans, ramen noodles, honey bun packets when he inevitably gets sent to prison, because they are not going to allow this man to use this for bond. I guess it could be used for a lawyer when ultimately his public defender says that he won't be joining Chud along this journey. But then again, you'll also have to find another lawyer who will take on the case. And I'm pretty sure he will. Lawyers love money. But it's nasty and sad as I scroll through the comment section of his donation page. There are people that are really thinking that they are making some sort of stance. I think the irony in all of this, though, is they're treating it as if it's some sort of content. The videos that we are getting are clips from the live stream. They'll probably live stream the trial and the court case as well. And then the donations and the give, send, go are, you know, donations that people send to streamers. This is TTS right here. The difference is that normally while on the street, Chud would be having fun, you know, because this was supposed to be a consequence-free environment. But the reality is that his life hangs in the balance. In this situation, and all these people sending all this money and stuff like that to him are not really having an impact on his life. It's almost meaningless. I know he would trade any and all of that for freedom at this point, but hey man, if you wanted to be the birthday, Tennessee is gonna make you the birthday.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here. And if you want to see the full reaction video, you can go to his channel. I can link it in my bio below. But in terms of what's my take in this whole thing, I think there's supposed to be consequences for your action. And I don't understand in terms of the people who are actually writing their comments on the GoFundMe. I know that people change and people do change, but at the end of the day, just because you are willing to change doesn't mean that you shouldn't face consequences. I believe that for that attempted murder, he needs to serve some sort of jail time. In terms of how long, that will be determined by the court, because I'm not someone who is a lawyer or a judge or know anything in terms of the justice system. But there needs to be some sort of consequences so that it actually emphasizes people to actually not do what he was doing. Yeah, man, yeah, it's tough for him. It's tough for him, really. But at the end of the day, there's accountability in this world. Yeah, man, I'll see you same time, same place. And also don't forget on your way out to like and subscribe so that we grow the channel. And as always, I'll see you same time, same place.